Good afternoon, everyone. Country Flyboy here, and today we're back in Kerbal Space Program. So last time we built a working aircraft that was a cargo plane. It was meant to take cargo, particularly small rocket parts, to the Kerbal Space Center from wherever they're built. Today, I'm thinking we're going to build a rocket. We're actually going to build and hopefully test fly a rocket. So I'm going to load back into my sandbox mode. Alright, we're going to go to the VAB. We have no flights in progress at the moment. Now, rocket building is pretty fun. We can actually build a pretty simple rocket. Let me find the right engine and put a parachute on the end. And that right there is a pretty simple rocket. That can actually get you to orbit, but can't quite reach escape velocity. I think, however, we need to get a I want to get into orbit. I want to at least build a rocket that can get to orbit, do a couple of experiments, gather some data, and then return back to Kerbin safely. So, first thing we need to do is we need a pod. Since we are going to be running experiments, I'm thinking we need something of a decent size. The Mark 1 only holds one Kerbal. I think we need to go a little bit bigger. So we're going to take the Mark 1-2 command pod, which I believe holds 3 Kerbals. Yes. So we'll take a pilot, an engineer, and a scientist with us. Sounds good. Now, what are we going to put on this thing? You know what? All this is a terrible idea. Scrap all of that. What we're going to do is we're going to go with a simple command pod. I'm going to put a smaller heat shield on it. There we go. And we shouldn't need these anymore now, since it's just a command pod. And we'll do some simple data gathering. I think simplicity will be the best policy. So we'll take a thermometer. Cutting edge, self-contained laboratory. Have you ever wondered what happens to something in 0G? Okay, tell you what, we'll take that because it can do stuff. We'll move that over to the side. I need a fairing of some kind. Where are those at? Right here. There we go. I'll cover that up. Put that on there. Yep. We're okay, so this will be our command module. And it'll just go up, do simple science experiments, and come back down. Pretty simple. Now, how do we get this thing up to space? We need rocket engines. Now, down here, Kerbal Engineer is telling me the delta V of this particular spacecraft. First thing we need is a separator of some kind. Actually, you know what? First thing we actually need, probably an RCS module. That gives us some stability once we are in orbit. Move that down. Perfect. The RCS is, or the center mass is right there. Right where that reaction wheel is. I need to put some thrusters on there. So we need little tiny RCS thrusters. These things. What do these require exactly? Monopropellant. We need a monopropellant fuel tank. RCS fuel tank, monopropellant, RCS fuel tank. We're gonna put this here, then there. It's a little too small. How about this one? Way too damn small. Well, I guess that'll work. Alright, so I think this will be our little science thing, station, what have you. So, now we need to build the rocket itself. We need a separator. One bigger than that. There we go. That's what we need. Alrighty. Now, to build the rocket itself. Kerbal is not an Earth analog, so we don't have to use the exact same stuff. But we need an engine that's good for low or upper atmosphere. This is going to be my final stage. Probably to accelerate me. I do like the look of this one, so I think we'll go with that. Vector liquid fuel engine. Alright, so we need a liquid fuel tank. That is overkill. That is also overkill. I need smaller ones than that. This one, too small. This one, still too small. Oh, we know those are too big. No. There we go. So this is the X232 fuel tank. If we put that on there, and that will be my get us to orbital velocity engine. Let's put another separator. Now what I'm thinking of putting on this one is even bigger, something for lower atmosphere. So I'm thinking we're gonna go up to bigger fuel tanks like those ones we had earlier. This one, no, bigger than that, please. There we go, the big kahuna. So we need an engine to go on this one. Let's see. I'm thinking something like this. It looks not quite Saturn V like, sort of like a mini Saturn V. But this can get us airborne and probably up to space, and this can get us up to speed to achieve orbital velocity. Let's take another fuel tank with us just because I'm a little concerned. There we go. Now we got to smooth that out somehow. How's that look? Look good? I do not like the way this is exposed. So I'm thinking we're going to put a smaller thing here so I can cover that up. Alrighty. There. That look good? So the only part that's going to be coming to space, or coming back to Kerbal, is all this. The rest of this is just going to be space trash. Okay, we need to raise this up a bit. Now, does this need any SRBs? This thing's pretty frackin' heavy. So maybe we do need some SRBs. I like SRBs. I like myself some SRBs. So we're gonna go with 4. Now, I have no idea. I am not a rocket scientist, so I have no idea if this is the most efficient design, but we're gonna name this Little Saturn. LITTL Saturn 5. Little Saturn 5. Because that's kind of what it is. I mean, if you were to build an actual Saturn 5, the command module would be like all the way up here where that gantry crane is. The Saturn 5 is humongous if you've never seen one. Now, vitally important to rocket design is the staging. So I have been haphazardly placing stuff. We have got a lot of work to do on the staging. Alright, so that parachute is going to be last. Let's start from the bottom up. The first engines we want to light are the SRBs. Want them on that. The second engine we want to light No, wait. The first engine we want to light is the main engine. Then we want the SRBs to light. Just because I think we are going to need some stability, let's go to structural, launch stability enhancer, right here. And those will give us some stability on launch. So we want the main engines to fire, and then I want the SRBs and the stability enhancer decoupling on the same stage, so that the second these engines light, these will get decoupled. That parachute needs to be on its own stage. Alright, now I just realized these are not on any decouplers, so real quick I need to fix that. Move these off to the side. Radial decouplers. Looks good to me. Alright, so main engine fires, then both of these. I want these to occur at the same time. SRBs fire, then that gets decoupled. The next stage, this needs to come up. This is going to be SRB separation, main engine going still. Then the parachute needs to activate with SRB separation. Okay. Then what is that? Romax brand decoupler. These two need to go together. Once this engine is out, these need to be fired away and decoupled so that that engine can start doing its thing. So those get fired. Decoupler gets fired. Then the engine can light separately. Once that's done, that should get us up to orbital speed. This decoupler lights, and then these separate, and then those separate, then we have that. Alright. That's a relatively complicated stage setup there, but let's see if it will work. This is my first attempt at building a rocket completely from scratch. Normally I go with the pre-builts. I have no flippin' idea if this is gonna work, but we're gonna save it and launch it. Alright, we're here on the launch pad, and I already realized one problem. These things are very shaky, so I need to enhance their stability. But everything else looks good. Alright. Gonna full throttle. SAS on. What we're gonna do... hell, we'll just go. 3, 2, 1. Main engine start. 2, 1. Separation. Booster ignition. Liftoff. Roger, roll. Begin our gravity turn. Throttle back as we're getting too much drag. That liquid fuel is really draining faster than I thought it would. Okay, so we don't need full throttle on takeoff. We'll note that. We're getting a little on the warm side. Wow, those SRBs got us pretty damn high. Stand by for booster separation. separate boosters. Wow, the main engine's got us pretty much all the way up here now. Practically in space. Holy crap, I built an efficient rocket. How did I do that? How did I build an efficient rocket? Those SRBs are a little on the strong side, aren't they? Alright, we're in space. We need more forward speed. Let's get up to 80,000 meters. Alright, point the rocket forward now. I don't need any more upward momentum, I just want forward momentum. Alright, stand by to run out of fuel on those things. Separation. Stand by to light the engine. Alright, I just need to get an orbit going. Let's pitch down a bit, take out some of that upward momentum. Too much forward momentum. No, too much upward momentum. I need more forward. Come on, baby. I don't want to hit escape velocity. If I built a rocket that can actually hit escape velocity, I'm going to be impressed. Alright, we need to get our orbit. Looks like we are getting a orbit. A little bit higher than that. Get it to 80,000 meters. Shut down. Alright, 100,000 meters. So we're going to orbit. This is a little further away from the planet than I like. So I need to get over here and then fire again to get that down lower. Alrighty. But we are in orbit. We are actually in orbit. Holy shit. Alright, that's a Sepratron. I don't want to fire that yet. Let's go ahead and ditch those to expose our science equipment. We are actually in space, guys. Jebediah, get a good look. We're in space, my fellow Kerbals. He's happy as a clown. I did not too bad, actually, for my first try. Alright, so the most efficient place to adjust this is on the opposite side. So I want to add a maneuver. That's going to take us out. I want to decrease that. I want to straighten this orbit out. What I'm doing here is I'm basically letting the computer run the math for me. I want to keep this roughly the same. 100,000 meters. That's 230. I want to roughly even out the orbit here, so... basically telling the computer to do the math for me. You know what? That's close enough. Is that it? Is that the maneuver programmed? I think so. So if I go back to here, yep. So we'll have to do a 7-day burn? Ain't no fucking way. There we go. We'll have to do a burn for 336 meters per second. Radial out. Okay. Let's flip this to normal. Is that going to align me to the maneuver? That's what I'm looking for. Are these working? Because if those aren't working, we're eating up some electrical charge every time we do a turn like that, because I brought the RCS thrusters along because they can be helpful, but they don't appear to be working. I think I should have got some freaking solar panels. Oh well, we're already up here, so we are going to speed up time. Until we get to the maneuver. We've been in orbit for 1 hour. About 1 minute. I want to stop time 1 minute away from the maneuver. And this is orbital physics. It's all a bunch of math calculating when do you do a burn and how long do you burn and in what direction. Alright, so we got 1 minute. Back to here. We have positioned ourselves for the burn with the SAS system. I'm just going to stand by to activate in T-minus 30 seconds. I can't remember the key commands. There are key commands to shut off and activate the currently staged engine. I can't frickin' remember them. I probably should have looked that up before going on a frickin' rocket flight. But oh well. It's too late now. We're already in space, and in space is not the time to be looking up how to fly a rocket, is it? Alrighty. Stand by. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Burn until it tells us to stop. This little timer here. Shutdown. See how that helped. Did that help? Pretty damn close. Trash that maneuver. When we get over here, we can increase the orbital height on that side. Add maneuver. I just want to increase orbital height on that side. We're at 225 here. A little bit more. There we go. That'll work just fine. And that will even out our orbit. I'm pretty sure we have enough fuel for it, so speed up time again. We just don't want to get too low. If we get into the atmosphere puts drag on the spacecraft and slows us down, and we come creaming back to Earth. 4 minutes to maneuver. 3, 2, 1. Just slow it down to 1 minute to the maneuver. Alright, time warp. Go ahead and put this to the maneuver. Ooh, we're doing this on the dark side of Kerbal. Once I get the orbit stabilized, I'll do some more talking. This burn ain't gonna be for near as long. T-minus 40 seconds to the next burn. Got plenty of fuel in this thing. Yeah, we still got plenty. Damn, I built an efficient rocket! Those SRBs got us way higher than I thought they would. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Shutdown. Alright, let's look at the map. How's our orbit look? And I'd call that a stable orbit. Yeah. We built a rocket that actually got into orbit on the first try and nobody died. Holy cow. I'm a rocket scientist. Alright, time to start running the experiments, guys. So at this point I realize we did not bring... Well, we still got some electrical charge, so... Let's get those experiments going, y'all. Open doors. I know we're on the test flight, so none of this counts, but when I get my sequencing on all that, where's my thermometers? We're going to log the temperature. Temperature scan while in space near Kerbal, collected and recorded temperature data from the environment. We have no radio antenna, so we can't transmit that, but we will keep the experiment, and we will also observe material bay. Material study while in space near Kerbal. The microgravity has greatly affected the growth of crystalline structures. Loose objects are also flying around the bay in a very messy but fascinating way. Alright, we're going to log all that as well. And now we have done our experiments. Of course, in real life it would take a lot longer. So I'll pretend they're running the experiments while I, pretending to be Jebediah, figure out how to land this thing. So the Space Center is right there, I believe. Yeah, I think the Space Center is right here. So I want to try something I've never done in this game before, and that is a more precise landing. We need to add a maneuver to level this out. I need to get this to be a little bit lower. I want that to pass over Kerbal, or the Space Center. Without necessarily making the orbit bigger. I just need to set myself up to get back into the atmosphere, which I think begins at about 40,000, I think is where they said it's at. This does not take atmosphere into account, I don't believe. So it's... we want this to hit 40,000 right about here. So let's put this to 20,000 meters. Right about there. And at some point, I think it should enter the atmosphere, which will give us the braking we need to hopefully land in this little ocean or sea right here. That way they don't have to go too far to find us. Alright. And we are not far. We're only 6 minutes from that maneuver, so... Alright, guys, let's batten down the hatches. Close that up. So I just need to check as to why those RCS thrusters are not working. Alright, spin to the maneuver. There we go. Should put some lights on this. There's a lot you can do in this game. I've already shown you the whole solar system you got to explore. And these planets all move and orbit the sun and rotate and all that fun stuff in real time. Or close to real time. I think one day on Kerbin's like 6 hours, so everything's cut in half. But you can actually... there's people on the internet with videos of this game that building space shuttles, space stations, moon bases. You can do all sorts of stuff in this game. And you do it realistically. That's why I like it. Alright, we're going to set our throttle to here. Yeah, right here. T-minus 5 minutes to the burn. I'm going to speed up time. Alright, we are now 30 seconds away from the burn. Standing by to activate the engine. Next video, I'll have to look up those controls. T-minus 20 seconds. Set that throttle, please. T-minus 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Hope, we should have enough fuel. And this is slowing us down so that we can skim into the atmosphere. It's the re-entry part I'm worried about, because I realized I shouldn't have jettisoned some of this stuff. Shit. Right there at the end of the maneuver, the thing ran out of fuel. We literally had just enough. Alright, guys. I just realized the heat shields, I did not design this module very well. So now we have that's just going to be in orbit. Or is it going to... No, it should. Tell you what, we can actually select it. No, it's going to collide with Kerbal, I think. Yeah. I think it's going to hit right about here and it's going to go into the frickin'... So it should disintegrate on re-entry. It's this thing I'm worried about, because now I am not sure, because this thing doesn't have engines of its own. Oh well. And I also realized my heat shield's underneath that thing, so I hope to Christ this thing can even survive re-entry. It might not. Guys, y'all might still die. Alrighty. Well, there ain't nothing we can do about it now. Just hope to God that that is low enough to get into the atmosphere. Alright, speed up time. Alright. Our altitude is dropping. Set that to retrograde. Yep, we're in the atmosphere. Alright, we're on retrograde. I'm going to let Jebediah fly it. SAS is stabilization assistance. And basically, I'm going to let Jebediah help me out flying it. You've seen me hitting these buttons. It's basically pointing the rocket at certain places. So we have caught into the planet's atmosphere, and we should plummet to our deaths. I mean, to a safe landing. And there goes... Oh god, that might be coming right at us. No, I don't think it's going to hit us. Looks like it's going to pass just in front of us. That thing is getting awful red. But it should disintegrate in the atmosphere because it has no heat protection. This thing is getting very, very red. Oh, here comes the fun part. Moment of truth, guys. I don't know if this thing's going to survive re-entry. Yeah, we're in the upper mid atmosphere now. There goes that thing. It's starting to heat up too. Yeah, this thing should be destroyed in re-entry. It's really starting to heat up. The Kerbals aren't liking this. Oh, that thing is getting hot. We still got a long way to go through the atmosphere, too. Little meters have popped up. I think that's when it's going to fail from temperature exposure. The heat shield's actually underneath that thing. I did poor design of this command module. I built a pretty good rocket, but my command module design skills need work. We'll speed up time a little bit. Hopefully this goes faster. That thing is getting freaking white hot now. Oh shit. Oh shit. It's going out of control. I'm taking over. I'm taking over. It can't survive re-entry like this. I can't flip it around. I designed a freaking bullet. That's why it flipped around that way. Oh, fuck me. Well, at least we're in the lower atmosphere now. So things should start cooling off. But since this doesn't have any control surfaces, I have no way of controlling it. It's completely ballistic. I designed a goddamn bullet. I don't even know what... Oh, I'm not in the right place either. Alright, well, nothing we can do about it now. Parachutes out. Oh, fuck. I hope... I realized I put that on there and then didn't add the additional parachutes when I made this thing heavier. Get ready for a jolt, Kerbals. You're going to get one heck of a wake-up call in a second. It should deploy around 2,000 meters. Or not. We're going to die, aren't we? Oh, nope, 1,000 meters. Damn, that thing would have snapped their necks doing that. Okay, 1,000. I want that to deploy at 2,000 meters. We're still going a little fast. Yeah, it definitely needs more parachutes. This should be survivable, but it's going to hurt, and it's on solid ground, too. How far away? I'm not too far away from the ocean, so I came close. Alright, Kerbals, brace for impact. This is gonna hurt. Told you it would hurt. But they survived. The Kerbals are alive. And the data is intact. And that other thing is already destroyed. So guys, we did it. Now, where the there's KSP right there. So I wanted to land in this sea over here. I was way the frack off. Okay, so what did we learn from this experience? 1, work on the command module. The rocket's good, the command module needs work. The command and thingy. 2, solar panels. 3, learn how RCS works. 4, work on your math skills. And 5, learn the controls. Because I was way the hell off my target right there. Like 120,000 kilometers off. I don't even know if that's a right number. Anyway, I do believe I would call this a successful mission. Yes, half of the rocket got destroyed. Well, most of the rocket got destroyed and part of the command module did, but overall, we have learned some valuable science, and that is what Kerbal Space Program is all about. You try, you fail, you try again, you fail again, you probably fail a few more times, you give up, you go watch a Scott Manley video, then you try again, and by some miracle you manage to succeed. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. That was me attempting to fly a rocket. Next time? I don't know. We'll have to think of something. I'm not building a space shuttle anytime soon. The space shuttle is one hell of a complex machine to build. Anywho, hope you enjoyed it, and we shall see you next time. Take care, everyone. It goes, holy wow, that's a crosswind. Holy cow. I wonder if I can pit maneuver you.